Welcome to the program. This is What's Your Story, and my name is Catherine Mwangi. Here at the Acacia Premier Hotel in Kisumu, we thank the management of this beautiful hotel for hosting us. This is a great partnership between Standard Group and Acacia Premier Hotel. We thank you for your great hospitality. It's a beautiful place. Our guest today is Dr. Vitalis Ogola, who is a dentist, and not just that, but he supports the community here in the field of arts and entertainment. Incredible story of a young man helping other young people develop and uplift themselves. So, from the presidential suite of Acacia Premier Hotel, let's go meet this young man. Welcome to the program. This is What's Your Story? Kisumu edition. We decided this time round to visit the Lake region and see what stories come out of this beautiful place. So far, so good. And today is a gentleman on the show who was recommended by different people. And so we are so honored to have him on the program, Dr. Vitalis Ogola. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
You are very popular and famous. People like you. we each got your name from different sources, and we figured, wow, I hope he says yes when we ask him to come. So thank you for accepting our invitation. A dentist by profession.
Yes.
But first in the field of arts. That's where you started. So we start with your background then. Okay. What does that look like?
Vitalis Ogola is a Kenyan from Kisumu who practices as a dentist, but has a passion to support young, upcoming artists in different arenas. So primarily that is what I do. Yes.
Okay. So why did you choose first to become a dentist?
Well, my becoming a dentist was incidental.
Oh.
Yes.
How so? Give us a story.
Interestingly, I actually wanted to be a lawyer.
Okay.
Yes, passionately. But the school I went to was that if you're among the top performers, then you automatically was required to at least pick medicine because it was assured.
Okay.
Of employment back then.
Okay.
So
why did you say back then as though you're very old? You're just in your early 30s. I mean, very early 30s.
True, but it's 14 years. It's almost 16 years back.
Okay.
Yes. So, of course, 16 years back, medicine, law, engineering were the top schools, top courses.
Yes.
So, my high school advised that we choose medical courses. So then I applied actually to do medicine. But then once I finished high school, there was a chance to change. And I got interest in about dentists. I heard about some dentists before, then I said, why not? Let me try it. So I walked into dentistry largely ignorant about it.
My goodness.
Though at this point in time, given another choice, I'd still walk back to dental school and be a dentist.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
So it was a coincidental, but yet the right path for you to follow.
Sure.
In retrospect.
Yes.
Okay, but what were your beginnings like growing up? Like your family, your parents?
Well, I'm a son of a teacher. Both my mom and parents were primary school teachers.
That's why you're very proper. There's a way teachers require their children to be.
Yes. I'm a product of teachers. I grew up in Bondo town.
Okay.
Yes, went to a public primary school, went to a public high school, went to a public university. From the very early days, I used to do poem in primary. I did acting in high school. And somehow I was versatile. I tried to do many things until I narrowed down on a professional career.
Okay.
Yes.
So why did you want to first pursue acting before the dentistry came up?
I don't know who influenced me to act.
You can't remember?
I can't remember. But what I remember, I started acting, I think when I was class 3 or class 4 back then. In primary, we did poems, solo poems, along the way.
Yeah.
I actually performed on these national days in my primary, when I was in primary.
You went up to national level?
Well, no, up to the provincial level.
Okay.
I never went to the national. I don't know why, but we never went. Yes, yeah.
Okay, so your passion started in primary, through to high school.
Yes.
And then you decided you want to be an actor.
Well, I didn't really. High school, I acted, but Well, partly, I'm not blaming my school, but we were really geared. If they noticed that you are good in academics, you're more or less discouraged to pursue art. So they helped me anyway, because there's a point I think I was going astray a little bit. I took off the academic path. So
the son of two teachers.
Yeah. So along the way, I was made to really focus in academics. So when I got to Form 3 and I started performing well, I just shunned off the art aspect of my life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think it's something you'd have loved to pursue full time?
Looking back, I think I'm better off supporting art than primarily being the participant.
Yes.
Yes.
So let's talk about the ways in which you support art in
Yes.
this county.
Okay.
You've done a lot, you and your wife. First, tell us about her.
Well, interestingly, my wife too, who happens to have been also involved in pageantry, she was supporting these pageant activities while she was in campus. And she's actually the one who really pushed us more to support the Kisumu Fashion Week and the likes. I have inclined more towards the stage plays, the thespians and the musicians. But she's inclined more towards the models.
Yes.
Yes. So we met two people who have a passion of art, but in different sectors.
Yes.
So it has brought us together to marry the two.
So did you meet in that line of work?
Well, not really. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So what are these things that you have done to help the art community in this county? I know you've done a lot.
Now, well, thank you for that accolade. But primarily, what has happened in this town, Kisumu has largely had artists. I think most of the people came from this town up to the national level, like Akina Eric Omondi, Akina Susan Owio. But a lot of support has happened more in Nairobi than here. I see a lot of activities happening at the National Theatre, Alliance Française. But in Kisumu, one big problem that these artists have had is a platform, a room where they can probably hire. There's no official, there's no public theatre space where they can go do their shoots. So initially, there was a time I went just to watch a play at the Kisumu Museum. When I was in Nairobi as a student, I would go to Alliance Française, I would go to the German Gothic, and I'd go to the National Theatre. On a monthly basis, there was always a show, and it was easier. So I took it for granted that when I came here, I would have all those.
The same.
So one time, I went to the Kisumu museums, and I found some people doing a play, but they could not afford the stage. So they wanted to shoot their play out of the building. So that is when I thought, why can't I come on board and probably take off the burden of securing the space? So that was my background in trying to support the plays in this town. So that was the first line of thought. The second line of thought is, largely, people look up to the big corporates, the big companies that do big stuff. But the big companies can't do everything. Yeah. So I felt like we who are starting up, we could give them the little support that we have here and there and give them some platform. And I'm glad along the show I'll be able to tell you. But there's one of the people we supported, those guys who do production, who did a shot and currently won an award of some good money with the Kenya Film Commission. And actually they were meant to do some shoot in Kisumu in April until there was a lockdown. So they are pushing it into August. So that visibility that we're able to give them when probably nobody would have given them that chance is what has brought us here. Yes.
So when you hear something like that, it definitely makes you very proud of the steps that have happened.
Yes.
Okay, so that's just one. I know people who've done many things for the community usually are very modest about it. But you see, the reason why you share your story is so that others watching would understand that, wait a minute, I don't have to be that wealthy to just support people at a certain level.
Yes. So
you can tell us about this group that won this cash award.
It's a group called, the production is called the Lakewood Productions. They did they did some movie called Seredo 1, which was thoroughly poorly attended.
Oh, it was here?
Yes, it was here. Then they did a second one called Seredo 2, which did so well. They did the plays here, did it in Nairobi. But now they want to do a story on Baby Pendo, who was shot during the post-election violence. It's called Bangarang. It's meant to, there was a premiere that was meant to happen in August. As I've told you, it was postponed. So the Kenya Film Commission, I think, wants to probably showcase stories, just like you're doing, of different regions, and at least to chronicle this in a movie setup. So people bidded to have different stories of Kenya, and they were lucky to win.
Ah, amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
So what kind of support do you give these groups, like if you were to break it down?
Now, it's different. The people who do plays, the primary thing we always do is to secure for them the theater space. It varies. Sometimes they get in hotels, sometimes they get in public social spaces and private ones. The people who do film, like the Lakewood Productions, we sometimes hire for them equipment because they may not be in a position to hire the equipment. There are others, we help secure the grounds for doing the shoots, yes. For the pageantry, there's one we've tried to do called Miss Kisumu City. We funded it fully. Yeah, we funded it fully.
You and your wife,
yes,
eh?
yeah, we funded it fully. There's one called Kisumu Fashion Week. We always give them part sponsorship. They'll always showcase the list. But largely we secure for them equipment. Yes, there are some we print for them their tickets, though that is not mainly what we do. We normally focus on getting you the space or getting you the equipment, which really takes a big burden off their back.
Yeah.
Yes.
So once you support in that way, they run with the event.
Yes, they do run with
So you let them to run and
Yes.
you just go see what's going on stage or whatever. Do you help also in publicizing it?
Yes, we do, depending on how big the institution is. If there are people who are at least a bit more advanced, so those ones we let them do it by themselves. There are those who are still not so known, so we do for them the publicity. We probably sponsor for them some Facebook posts and share those kind of things. Yes. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So in total, how many people would you say have passed through your hands?
Wow. I was actually trying to do a list. I think well, we've been here for quite some number of time. I think I've been in Kisumu for around 10 years now.
As are many
Yes.
organizations.
So over this 10-year period, we probably sponsored more than 11 different groups.
Yeah.
Yes. Of course, some of them emerge, others don't emerge. Yes, but we don't lose hope.
So what's and I know you can't, it's like asking a parent for their favorite, who's your favorite child, but in your case, out of those you've supported,
Yes.
who are the ones that you enjoy, like?
Well, the one case that I'm proud of the most is there's a young girl called Ramina Paulette.
Okay.
She's known in this town. She's a young girl who is trying to do modeling and doing many activities, doing environmental activities. And she first came to us when she was very young, that she has a beautiful face, that we could use her as a face for our clinic actually, so that she could put her face, the smile out there. We used her as a model for our clinic images, and she's put effort. And what we've tried to do is to help give her that visibility. Yes. So I see the effort that young girl puts, and I'm proud of it. The other group is the Lakewood Productions that I've just mentioned. I think if there's a group that has had a desire to have visibility, they normally joke that they want to have Kisumu to have the Nollywood of Kenya, that movies can be shot here and people enjoy across Africa, just like we enjoy Nigerian movies. They have constantly put the effort to rise. There's one guy called Apesi, he's a musician. We haven't, I would not say that we supported him significantly, but he started as a musician some time back. They were in a group, they approached us, we tried to support them. And he's constantly kept the effort. Until recently, there's a music that I think he just shot probably a month ago.
A video?
Yes, a video, and launched it on YouTube. We helped do the production costs. And I see his effort, I see him rising. At one time, actually, interestingly, when Nadia was starting in Kisumu, we also had her do a shot for us, performing one of these, sponsored her to do one of these presentations. Not so long ago, and now Nadia is a big name in Kenya. Yes, at that time she was in Maseno University, yes. Yeah.
So before we knew her,
you
before, guys were
in
already...
fact, yes, in fact, I think even in Kisumu people didn't know her.
What?
Yes, yeah.
And now she's on the national stage.
She's now big.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. So how do you do it? Is it that they approach you, or is it that you read about them? By now, of course, they know you, so they know.
It's two-pronged. One aspect is that we intentionally sort out, like when I started was with the thespians. That is when we started out. So when we helped them secure the space, I think they really recognized us, that we really did for them a good job. So from that day, those who were doing production approached us to at least support them. Just take a part of the budget for them. So there are those who seek out to us to help them. There are those we intentionally reach out to support them. Yes.
That's beautiful. So you've started philanthropy at a very, very young age.
Well, yeah, I feel, yeah, true.
Where does that, do you think, come from?
Well, I don't know, though my parents were really had a desire to help people out. Up to date, if I go to Bondo, people don't even recognize my name. People refer me by my father's name.
Is it?
Yes.
Because of how he has helped?
Because of what he tried to imply or impact in people's lives. But I think it is in me to try help my society get better. Yes. I'm not saying it for the cameras. I'm not saying it as a cliche. Every single day, I think there's somebody else we try to help.
Yeah.
We've gone to what is it called, children's homes, to give. There are times we give and don't take credit for it. Yes. So that the little we have, at least let it help somebody else. Yeah. Because I come from the school of thought that oftentimes we seek out to donors, some European person. Yes. But it's just a civil servant, somebody working out there, some business person who is just like you and me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you spoke about society. When one goes through your social media pages, you're very vocal and very alert and aware of the things that need fixing. Yes. Or you just offer a common sense approach to a lot of things. Yes. And so for you, your passion is in ensuring the young people of this county have a chance to express their gifts and talents.
I come from the school of thought that Africa, we are capable. We have the ability to do it better. That is part of the reasons why I chose Kisumu and not Nairobi. I was in Nairobi and came here.
Oh, is it?
I hope that my life can be proof to people that we can make it from anywhere. You don't really need to go to Europe. You really don't need to go anywhere. The basics of economics is that if you have a population, you can make something out of it. So my desire is that, of course, the elderly people have done their part with their weaknesses or with their successes. But we need to have the younger generation, one, get a platform. There's somebody out there who could be the next Eric Omondi, but all they need is just to be given that visibility. Just like the story of Nadia, I've told you. I would not say that I would take credit for even 10% of her success. But at that point, what she needed was just a platform to be heard. Yeah. Yes. So if you have the ability, and you may not lose sleep by sponsoring for them even just the equipment, then do it. I mean, it takes somebody off the unemployment cycle. Yes.
Yeah. And also the suicidal cycle, which is very high now with the young people. Yeah. Because everyone has, well, not everyone, majority have lost hope.
True.
And because people like you and I are waiting for others to do it.
Yes, true.
Yet we can do it.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what makes your story very beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. So your wife deals with the beauty pageants.
Yes.
And you and this other, the flip side to that coin is yours is theater, drama, film.
That is my passion. I actually love going to watch it. I desire if it could be there on a monthly basis. I used to subscribe to Nairobi. They even still send me those messages, like we have a shot and things like that. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So what kind of impact have you seen from these young people since you started working with them?
Well, the bit that I would say is I've seen people take things more serious, because there are those who've supported and they're not serious. So when they come back next, we probably tell them, no, I can't support you. If you show some seriousness, we walk along with you. So I have seen people try to get better. Yes, I have seen people try to get better. There are those who before were not even able to feed themselves off art. The group that I am telling you on the film, the guy actually quit his job recently to now do it as a full-time job.
Are you serious?
Yes. That is a positive thing. There's another group called Waka Waka Productions. We also supported them in doing their shots. They sometimes do for us videos as a clinic to be able to prove to other corporates that this is what we are capable of. And once we did for us some shoot for our clinic recently. And there's a group in Nairobi that reached out to me asking me who did this video production. And now he's gotten a job out of it. Yes. So those are the success stories. I think even Apesi recently, one of the musicians we supported, I saw him do some narrative and say that he may not have reached where he desires to reach, but he's definitely way better than where he was 5 years ago. Yes.
That's such a powerful testimony.
Yes.
So are they holding somebody else's hand? Are they paying it forward?
Well, there are those who do. I cannot really keep track of that, but there are those who do. Of course, there are those who don't. And there are some who come to me and ask me, we saw this person and he's risen up. Can you please link us up? There's some MC who was in this town called Onyulo. One time he appeared in Churchill Show. And there's some young guy who came to me and told me, could you please help me the contact of this guy? And I'm proud. I think Onyulo gave him some link ups and he went and did some auditions with Churchill Live. Yes.
So in this town, you can run as a politician very easily. You'll have the votes without even doing lots of campaigning.
Well, I don't know, but you see, the game of politics is different. But I don't know whether I'm known positively or negatively. But, well...
After doing all of that,
yes, yeah.
So is politics something you'd want to venture into?
Well, I don't intentionally work towards it, but I'm not averse to it. If the opportunity comes that I could be a politician, I would not mind it. But I don't want just to be a politician just for dogma's sake, that you become, I can say statistics, you know, I'll give you an example of the American presidents. America's had, is it 45 presidents?
Yes, now these are 46.
46.
Yeah.
But people remember some, others are not remembered.
True.
I don't desire just to be in any position in my life, just to be part of the statistics. Because I do believe the dentistry that I picked as a career is able to put food on my table. So if I were to join politics, it would be definitely to make some impact. I do know people say that as a cliche, I don't. Yeah. So for now, I'm not working towards being a politician. But if one day I get the chance to be, why not?
Why not?
Yes.
What are some of the things you would change?
Well, one is I feel that we have laws that are not geared towards helping our society.
Like which ones?
Part of the things I wear the face of doing supporting people in art.
Yes.
I run a dental clinic
Yes.
that we're really trying to make it be corporate by having branches and making it be like a business.
And you opened one recently, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yes. I can tell you there are many laws in this society that actively work against the growth of a business. And some may not even be somebody seated in government intentionally trying to pin you down. They do them probably geared towards a certain sector, but they end up being quite detrimental to the end businesses. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
I also operate a hotel in some town.
Which?
Hotel industry, we pay licenses to around 12 government bodies. Now, it's not bad for people to pay taxes and levies, but someone should consolidate these things. There are those that you sit in business 3 years down the line, you have no idea that you need to pay levies to this government institution. They show up slapping you with fines and levies. So, somebody in government should just decide and say, let's amalgamate all these levies, put it in one, pay it and get done. So those are just the little things that I would desire to change. Secondly, in this country, well, that's a bit more political, it's easier for a foreigner to set up certain businesses and get advantages than it is for the locals.
Is that so?
Partly, it's to help attract big businesses. You know, let the Samsungs come and set up these things here. But it makes it more difficult for the local guys who really do a lot of hard work to get those chances. Yes.
So those are the things you'd be looking to.
Yes, and it doesn't require a lot of the political lobbying. You know, you don't really need to reach out to across the political divide for you to say that let's consolidate these levies. You remember the other time when government was insisting, there was a policy that for those who are applying for jobs, needed to apply for help clearance, and it was tabulated to almost 6,000 shillings for a jobless Kenyan.
Yes.
It took one MP to go to parliament to ask that this thing be waived. Yeah, so those are the little things that you can, the low-hanging fruits that you can run away with, yet has big impact across the nation.
And do you feel like that's ignored, the low-hanging fruit?
Yes, it is ignored because oftentimes politicians try to lobby for the big things. But I feel any normal, of course, there are those that are a bit or of a hot potato that if you try to pursue, maybe you require a lot of lobbying across the political divide. But there are those that an ordinary MP would just seek to say, let us collapse two of these institutions into one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then let us get off this levy off people's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's politics in your future. I see it.
Well,
I see it.
yeah, but yes.
And
sure.
we'll remember this conversation.
Hopefully, yes. Yeah.
But we take a quick break for now. When we come back, we get to learn more about Dr. Ogola's dental practice right after the break.
Okay.
Acacia Premier Hotel has a barista coffee lounge right at the entrance. You get to be served with freshly brewed coffee, and it offers a wide selection of teas from around the world. The lounge offers freshly made desserts, pastries, and gourmet sandwiches. The lounge offers a suitable spot for catching up, relaxing, and a meeting point. It opens from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Welcome back from the break. This is What's Your Story, and our guest today is Dr. Vitalis Ogola, who so far has shared how just a little support goes a long way, and especially in the field of arts, which he was passionate about. And so we've spoken about all of that and the support you've given, including my crystal ball into your future as a politician, because really that's the same way dentistry was just incidental. It's the same way politics would just come. You're doing amazing things, and I think that's how it happens. So let's talk about the Royal Dental Clinic.
Yes.
When did you open that?
We started Royal Dental Clinic in 2012.
Okay.
Yes. We started as one clinic. It was a partnership with a friend of mine. Partly, well, just as I landed in dentistry by chance, I was also posted to a government facility, which largely I wasn't offering the service that I was trained to do.
Okay.
So I felt, why not have an alternative where I could offer my services to the fullness that I should. So we set up the clinic in 2012. I stepped out of government, quit government, and started it up.
You were very young then.
Yes, I was young.
Very, very young.
I should have been how old? I think 26 or thereabout.
Okay.
Yes. So, yes, so that is when we set it up, and we have grown over time. We run a dental clinic in Kisumu. We have one in Homa Bay. We have one in Migori.
The latest now.
The latest.
Yes.
And our plan is to, again, focus on what I call the underserved. Underserved does not mean purely underprivileged. If you're in Nairobi, you have thousands of clinics that you can walk into. If today by chance you posted to Homa Bay and you have a toothache, before we opened, there was a possibility you could not get any service.
Is that so?
Yes. There are county headquarters in this country that have no dental service at all. Other than the government aspect, which largely dentistry is a bit of an elite service. So we are not able to offer all the services. So that is our focus for Royal Dental Clinic.
So you have so far 3 branches now.
Yes.
In different towns.
Yes.
So how do you run the 3?
We have dentists working for us. We also have a partnership with Avenue Hospital here in Kisumu, actually even in Nairobi, even in Thika, which we run. So I primarily work in 2 clinics myself, but all the other clinics, the satellite clinics, have dentists working there. But I visit them once every week to oversee how they operate.
So you're a busy man, Mr. Ogola.
Yes, I sure.
Where do you find time? So you're a husband, a father, yes?
Yes, I am.
A businessman.
Yes.
Earlier on you said you also operate a hotel. So you're in the hospitality industry.
Yes, I do, but the hotel, the setup is just have a manager to run it, so I don't walk into it on a day-to-day basis. Yes.
So as an entrepreneur, because that's really what you are, how did that path come for you?
Well, the path, personally, I've never really liked sort of having a boss. I prefer doing things somehow my way, for lack of a better word. So from a very young age, I knew that I wanted to be sort of independent, which is one thing dentistry gave me, because dentistry can be practiced in isolation. So that has been my desire all through my life, yes. So at least I actualized it, and I'm happy we can get better with it.
What kind of a boss are you?
Well, it said, it should be said that my employees would be the best judge of myself, but I am not so hard, but I expect results.
You expect results.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's written all over you, by the way.
Yes.
It's
yeah.
written all over you.
Yeah.
So what are some of the hopes you carry for your kids, for your boys?
My wish as a parent is that my boys get exposed to the different fields of life before they get to the age of making a decision. That is for their career.
Right.
Because I look back, I had a conviction somehow. I don't know how I managed to get it. Maybe my teachers, my teacher parents helped me.
Yes.
But I've seen many people who end up in careers without having the knowledge of what it entails on a day-to-day practice of the career. One time, I'll digress a little bit.
Okay.
I have a nephew who wanted to be a telecommunications engineer. Then I asked her that, why do you want to do telecommunications engineering? And then she told me, she quoted for me somebody who was a CEO of another company who, of course, people tend to see the glamour, who would fly around from one place to the other.
Yes.
Then I told her, can you just get in touch? I'll connect with a telecommunications engineer.
Yes.
To get to know what people do on what I call the grind of a day-to-day basis. The things that they do on the background, because that is what you do primarily. So my wish is to at least get to expose my boys to the different fields so that if they make a decision later in life, it is an informed decision. At least they have a bit of what it takes. Secondly, is to have discipline. I mean, I've learned in my little path of career that maintaining focus is not easy. There's a lot of distractions that keep you off the ball in whichever career. So those are the things that I think I desire that they learn. Yes.
So how, when you say expose them to, what are some of the practical ways you're employing for that to happen?
Well, my boys are still young, and I've been
Yes.
doing a lot of reading, and I learned that when they turn 6 years is the time when you start getting to expose them to different things. So there's an age where you expose them to games to help them improve on critical thinking. Focus on, let them learn a bit of, let me say, darts, a bit of chess, a bit of football, a bit of swimming, so that it helps you know what you don't like. I personally, I didn't like machines, so I knew I don't want to be an engineer.
Right.
But the fact that they'll get exposed to it, they will know whether they love it or not, without being coerced.
Yeah.
There's an age from around 7 years that you can expose them to a bit of basic computer coding, so they know. So that by the time they get to high school, they know this is a path I don't like. It helps you rule out.
Right.
Because at a young age, you think you can do everything. So you should know what you can't do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or what you don't like.
Yeah, what
and
you don't
eliminate
like.
that.
Yeah, then now at least at the tail end, you probably know that I have this choice that I feel I can do either. Then now at that point, you can probably read more on it and make a decision.
Yeah.
Yes. So at this point in time, what I'll do is to help them know what they don't like.
I like that approach.
Yes.
I like that approach. So even with your dentistry, your dental practice,
Yes.
you still help the marginalized or the poor. You still have a philanthropic arm to that. Could you speak to it?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And we do it all the time. When I was in university, there are these different people, either politicians who seek to vie or corporate bodies, who always organize for medical camps. From there, I picked the habit that at least let's go help out people who are underprivileged or cannot afford dental care, yet they need it.
Yeah.
So occasionally, we go to children's home. There's a children's home here in Kisumu called Orongo Children's Home. We went to it, picked some 2 kids, and they were almost leaving school because they had brown teeth. So we picked them, at least did for them some whitening, gave them an overhaul. I hope they rise to be helpful later in future and help somebody else.
Yeah.
So we picked them up and did for them whitening. Then at least now they are happy. Besides that, there are certain times that you can seek for some small support from other people. Maybe somebody gives you the toothpaste, somebody gives you the toothbrush. We go use that to do oral talks, create oral health awareness in public schools. There was a time we did for all public schools within this town.
What?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what was the attraction to dentistry compared to other fields of medicine?
It was a kiddish decision because back then I didn't want to go to school for a longer period. When I was doing dentistry, it was taking 4 years. Now at least it takes 5. So I knocked off medicine for the simple reason that
You don't want to be in school for
I didn't want to
long.
be in school for long. Pharmacy and dentistry were the only 2 options now because there's just pharmacy, dentistry, and medicine.
Yeah.
I called a pharmacist friend of mine who was already in campus, and he jokingly told me that if you don't want to be a shopkeeper, if you want to be a shopkeeper, be a pharmacist. Of course, jokingly, because pharmacists have to sit in the pharmacy.
Yes.
So then I actually picked dentistry without knowing much. So then I picked it, and then I started doing a bit of reading around it. I walked to some dentist clinics, and I felt it would satisfy my field.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are the simple things we do not know about oral health care? I get surprised every time I visit a dentist.
The most critical thing that people ignore, we say as dentists that at least should seek to have your teeth cleaned by a dentist once every 6 months. I always say, if you can't go by that rule, please don't go beyond a year. By just visiting a dentist once every year, you prevent many of the bad things that would happen to your teeth. The thing is, for a cavity to develop into your tooth, from the starting point to the point where it becomes quite detrimental, like you have pain or you're likely to lose the tooth, 6 months is not a very long time for that to progress. Number 2, we pick up any dirt that can be cleaned early enough before you loosen them. And it's something I wish people could develop because I see people who are fairly young. I mean, now the average living span for Kenyans has gone higher. People don't die much in their 50s. People live in their 70s. You're likely to live beyond your 70s or your 80s. So if you remain toothless by the time you're 50, you will have a whole 20, 30 years of struggling to feed.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that I feel people ignore. Number 2 is starting good habits early enough. There's the tendency, more so for young ones, to try to show them love by giving them things which are so sugary. The problem is, you give them when they're younger, you want to give them cake, you want to give them sweets, you want to give them chocolate, to be the nice parent. But they never stop these habits. So you may be keen when they're young in following that they brush their teeth to ensure that they don't develop cavities. But by the time they get to high school, people are, generally teenagers are rebellious. They are not going to want to brush all the time, but they will love those bad behaviors. So I feel those are the 2 critical things that you need. Otherwise, the last one that I will talk about, if you have a cavity in your tooth, I get patients who come to me and tell me, I feel some cavity in my tooth, but it's not hurting. So I don't think it's a big deal. Let me give it time. I can assure you that that hole will get deeper. So go to the dentist, fix it earlier. It is good for you, it is good for your dentist, because we can prevent it early enough before it gets worse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so with the kids, is stay away from the sugary stuff. Keep that away or have it in moderation.
One is habit moderation. I was telling my wife one time that I will not keep the sweets off from them. I will not buy it. But whenever we probably get to buy it, I will tell them, if it is 1, you take 1. It teaches them 2 things. 1 is discipline. 2 is knowing your limits. Yes. But if you can, please don't expose them early enough.
Yeah.
Yes. And if they have to, at least let them rinse it. And don't make it a routine. Yes. Don't make it a routine that every night you come home, you have it in your bag. Yes. Yeah.
Wow, those are simple yet very, very impactful lessons we can employ. So, as we come to a close, Doc, what are your dreams for the Royal Dental Clinic?
My dreams for Royal Dental Clinic is hopefully that one day we could be a big dental clinic that can have footprints in all the 47 counties and beyond Kenya, so that we could have it across Africa. That is my desire. I believe that we, just the same way you have big corporates that started in the US and have spread foot wings across Africa, it's my desire that we could have indigenous Kenyan companies, Royal Dental Clinic included, being that entrenched in Kenya and across Africa. Beyond, of course, me getting something, but we create opportunity for other Kenyans. We get to offer dental solutions to many people in Africa who cannot afford anything beyond extraction. Not because they cannot afford it, but because those services are not closer to them. Yes.
Wow, that's for dentistry.
Yeah.
And do you see yourself acting in one of these plays that you support?
Yes, there's a time they sort out that I act.
Oh, is it?
Yes, but unfortunately my schedule has been so tight. Hopefully, of course, as we grow and grow, my hands could be more freer.
Yeah.
Because I hope to move away from clinical practice, not completely, but at least to reduce the days. So if my hands will be a bit more free, then...
You don't mind it?
I don't mind it.
Wow.
Yes.
So how do you create time for all of these facets in your life?
Well, it said everybody have 24 hours. You just have to plan for it. The thing that takes the greatest time of my time is actually seeing patients, because I have a huge list of patients who want to see me every single day.
And it's you they want to see?
Yes, every single day. But over time, we plan. I really plan. There are days, earlier on in the year before we open a new branch, I blocked off Friday from seeing patients. So I plan every Friday. This Friday I want to do this, this Friday I want to do this. So that is how I plan, because I work up to Saturday. Sundays I've left it for my family. I don't do anything other than seeing them or being with them. And Saturday afternoon I sit with friends. After work I sit with friends. So, but now that we open a new branch, I'm forced now to at least work on Friday for some period. But it requires planning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's purely planning.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what advice would you have for the young people, and you could speak to them, especially those on the verge of giving up?
Well, what I can say for the young people is, one, it's possible to succeed. It's possible. Number two, you require serious discipline. Number three is that good things will always be there in life. There's a lot of pressure in social media now that you may see me as Vitalis probably going for holiday, but you don't know the grind that goes on the back door. What matters is what you're doing every single day to incrementally get better. Loans are now quite available now. Don't take a loan for sustenance. Don't take a loan to feed yourself for fun that you're going to a club. Take a loan for growth. And lastly, the bit that I can say, when I started, I saved in a circle. And I'll give them a very good analogy. There's no little money. If you take 2,000 shillings and save in a circle every month, in a year you'll have 24,000 shillings. That accords you 3 times that to get a loan. 24,000 by 3 is 72,000. 2,000 shillings against 72,000 is nothing. But your 2,000 on a monthly basis can accord you 72,000 that can help you start some loan, some business somewhere. Grow for it. One day, the iPhone you desire, the good car you desire, you'll be able to afford it peacefully. That is all.
Afford it peacefully.
Yes.
You keep bringing up discipline.
Yes.
Is there something you see that the young people are lacking
Yes.
that hinders them from succeeding?
I see that a lot. I've spoken with my fellow doctors. I've seen it a lot. The thing is this. I'll give you an example. When I finished campus, we are fortunate that immediately we finished campus during that time, we could get employed. And then when you're employed by government, of course, your salary delays, it comes as a boom. Whenever that boom came, everybody would go buy cars. Then you pick up the pressure. You probably have a plan that I want to go back for masters and I want to save. But you get distracted. Because you see Vitalis has bought a car and you work together, you feel that I want a car. But you don't know the plan that they have. So then, when, let's say I've bought a car, and according to my plan I was meant to go to school after 2 years or start a business after 1 year, you get distracted to follow my path. In 5 years, I will have achieved what I wanted to achieve, but you got distracted.
Yeah.
So that is why I'm saying you need to have the discipline and focus to stick to your path. Nobody has the best path, but draw your own plan. Our plans cannot be similar, but at least stick to yours. Yes.
I like it.
Yeah.
Doc, thank you for coming to the program today.
Thank you too.
I really appreciate your time, your wisdom to the young people, and I'm looking forward to helping you campaign when the time is right.
Thank you.
When that time comes,
Yes.
look for us.
Okay.
Yeah,
Pleasure.
so it's coming, it's coming.
Yes.
Okay, and thank you too for watching What's Your Story today. Let us know what you think about the program. Let us know if you have somebody who has a story they want to share, or if it's your story as well. We do this just so somebody else can look at something and say, oh wow, if you can do that, so can I. And the lesson we've picked from Doc's story today is you don't have to be a big conglomerate in order to have an impact in the society or community you live in. The little you have, start there, and it starts to multiply, and you start to have success stories. So thanks for that. Have a great week ahead. God bless you.
Acacia Premier Hotel has a barista coffee lounge right at the entrance. You get to be served with freshly brewed coffee, and it offers a wide selection of teas from around the world. The lounge offers freshly made desserts, pastries, and gourmet sandwiches. The lounge offers a suitable spot for catching up, relaxing, and a meeting point. It opens from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.